Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to be brief because we haven't got much time, but there have to be some points made at a time when we shall be voting on the common system of financial transactions tax. The crisis in the financial system, speculation, as we have seen, started in 2008, and tomorrow we shall be voting on what is the first sign that speculative financial systems were what provoked the crisis and might be interfered with somewhat so as to help to pay for what the crisis brought about. In the last 4 years we've been in denial in Europe, a denial where citizens, the people in the various countries, were obliged to have their VAT on milk increased, but where the benefits from derivatives transactions weren't at all affected. We and a number of others in this European Parliament have not been in favor of increasing taxes, but we recognize that it is rather late, but something has to be done to address the way in which financial capital will pay what they haven't been paying for so far. That is a question that will be on the table tomorrow. We are seeing a Europe which is caught by these financial systems. The report may not be perfect. There are some shortcomings. There are some amendments tabled to improve it, which we have done so as to increase by 1.01%, 0.5% the VAT on derivatives. And we believe that in such a scenario it is urgent and necessary for a Europe which has been cruelly affected in its population, where so much poverty and suffering has been experienced, that there is some decency, some good sense, where financial capital must not be left exempt from this situation which we've been living through. And bearing in mind the limitations that are available to us, this is one signal we must put out. And I do hope that it will go through so as to reduce rather than increase the capacity of Europe, so that eventually we can create employment. Thank you. Marisa Matias. What about the problem of youth unemployment in Portugal? How is this felt? Often we hear about that in Spain and Greece. But since this is a subject on the agenda this week, could you say a little more about that, please? Thank you. Thank you for that question. This week, it's 1 year since we signed the Memorandum of Understanding in the Troika. We've seen revealing facts as to what has happened in this year. The numbers are particularly eloquent as regards employment. With the official data, we know that official data are always short of what the reality is. We've had record unemployment, about 15% in Portugal, knowing that it's a 20% in real terms rather than 15%. And when it comes to youth unemployment, we're talking about 1 in every 3 young people are unemployed. It's basically 35% what the official data are saying. There is no investment to create jobs, no political will to do that. Quite on the contrary, we have a prime minister who a few weeks ago said that the solution for the young people in Portugal who were unemployed was to emigrate. In other words, relinquishing his responsibilities as first Prime Minister to create employment. Last week, in a meeting with young people, he stated that to be unemployed was an opportunity to change your life. In a country where there's no jobs, there are no investments, where access to credit is non-existent, these statements, which are irresponsible by somebody who is very much subject to what the Troika said. It's basically abandoning your own country. Any prime minister who is giving up on his own country and its youth deserves to hold that office. That's my personal view. Thank you.